Hi guys, this is Solea. This is episode 3 on physical intimacy. I have an anonymous note here with me and I'm going to read it out loud, give some resources and advice, and really unpack what's going on here because I think a lot of people will either relate or know someone who has gone through a situation like this. So the note says, I recently hooked up with someone while I was drunk after a party. And he finished inside me without telling me, and he did this twice. He didn't even use a condom either, and I ended up having to take a plan B. What stuck with me wasn't just the act itself, because I was fine with that, but the total lack of communication and respect for my boundaries. So first, I want to just thank you to whoever submitted this story. It takes honesty and courage to share something like that, and I know there are many people listening who have gone through similar situations, but they've never talked about it, especially at a college and going to parties and things like that and being like under the influence. This story really reminds us why conversations about sexual health and consent are not just important, they're absolutely necessary. I want to tell you guys that consent is not assumed. It is not implied. Consent is verbal and it's ongoing. And that includes decisions about finishing inside someone, like ejaculation, or choosing not to wear a condom. And if somebody does these things without your agreement, that is a total violation of your boundaries. And I'm so sorry to whoever this happened to, and I want to clear some things up and help. So being under the influence definitely makes this a lot more serious. When someone is intoxicated, their capacity to fully consent is impaired, and you honestly can't really fully consent when you're drunk because your decision making is not there. You lack coherent thoughts, and critical thinking can't do any of that. So even if the other person wasn't as intoxicated, they have to respect your boundaries. Absolutely, they have to check in and communicate. So then there's the physical aftermath, taking the plan B, worrying about if you're pregnant, if you're going to get pregnant, worrying about possible STIs. And there's also an emotional layer that I want to touch up on, the anxiety that you probably felt, the sense of disrespect and feeling that your autonomy was ignored. And to whoever is listening, if you've been in a situation like this, please know that resources at Berkeley definitely exist and you do not have to handle it alone. At UC Berkeley, the Tank Center is a great resource, and it provides emergency contraception, including Plan B. It provides STI testing, pregnancy tests, confidential health consultations, and mental health support. So you can just walk in, you can ask questions, and it absolutely stays private. I want to mention another campus resource, Path to Care. It's Berkeley's confidential support for survivors of sexual harassment, sexual assault, or boundary violations. They offer advising, advocacy, and guidance for understanding your rights and options confidentially and without judgment. I just wanted to let you guys know these resources are available to you, and you don't have to ever be quiet about situations like this, and there's always somebody there to help. And if you want it to stay private, you absolutely can talk to someone and they'll keep it confidential. So thank you to whoever submitted the story. I wanted the clear takeaway was that consent is ongoing and it's verbal and it is not assumed. And yes, thank you so much. See you guys next time.